research fund. And we are a group of academics based at British and other universities working as part of the Gender Justice and Security Hub, which is managed through the LSE. And I'm one of about a dozen co-investigators.
And how has that been going?
Well, we had researchers in the field as of 6 weeks ago, and they were conducting surveys for us. And right now, they are in desperate need of protection. They're in desperate need of evacuation. These are women's rights activists. These are researchers. They're artists. They're NGO workers. And they've all been working on aspects of gender, justice, and migration.
What contact have you had with them in recent weeks?
We've had contact such as you can imagine. We've been on WhatsApp round the clock. We've been in touch with people by email. We've tried to ascertain what their current situation is. And equally, when we've heard of people who've been given permission to exit, evacuation instructions, we've been in touch with them through WhatsApp as they've progressed through the various stages, right the way through the gate, into the airport, and then when they've landed. And I must say, unfortunately, of our 350 researchers, only a handful have managed to get out. 25 were evacuated to Poland, 1 to Italy, 1 to Sweden, and no one has managed to get to Britain, even though they are all eligible under the ARAP scheme. They have simply not received visas or invitations to proceed to the airport.
What do you think of that?
Well, what do you think? It's horrifying. It is just outrageous. Here are people who've been funded by the British government, who've been working with British universities, who've put themselves at risk, in part, to help promote science and promote the reputation of British universities. They've been advancing what is a UN and a UK global agenda around women, peace and security, and they've simply been abandoned.
Do you have any idea why Britain has been unsuccessful in getting any of your people out, where other countries have done much better?
Well, quite honestly, I think they set up a system which was designed to fail. They set up a system far too late. They were not responding by email or phone. They were not entering people into the system, and as a result, people were not given visas. And without that piece of paper, without that email, they couldn't access the airport, and they couldn't get past a gate, and therefore they could not get onto a plane. Now, the British government has had details of our researchers for over a week, and this has gone right the way up. Ben Wallace has the list of our researchers. They know who they are. They simply have not prioritized them. They say, the Home Office says on its website, we are prioritizing Afghan women and girls, and this is simply not true. In our case, dogs were given permission to be evacuated and not Afghan researchers.
Is it too late for them?
I don't think it's too late, because there are planes still on the ground and Brits are still there. They still, well, first of all, the Americans still control the airspace, and there are British forces there. People have been waiting and waiting. Several have already tried to get to the airport over the past week. They know what is involved. It is possible that they could be evacuated. They could be evacuated tonight. In addition, there is an offer of another piece of land in Afghanistan, in Panjshir Valley. The vice president, Amrullah Saleh, invited Joe Biden to launch evacuations from the territory under his control. So there is not an immediate need for Britain to evacuate based on the deadline that the US has agreed to. There is still time. These people are there, the planes are there, and the Brits are there. And they're there while we still have control over the airspace.
What are your people there telling you? What are they saying about this?
People are terrified. People are waiting. They keep asking if there's anything we can do to help. And I have to say, Eddie, we have knocked on every possible door. We've knocked on the door of the Brits, the Americans, the French, the Germans, the Canadians, Italians, Spanish, Bosnians, and now Mexicans. And people simply have not been given visas. They have not been prioritized, contrary to what the British government has said.
What will happen to them?
honestly, I can't say, but they're terrified. These are people who've been working in the area around gender, justice and security, on women's rights, on civil rights, and they are at serious risk of reprisal from the Taliban.
Thank you for talking to us. Brad Blitz, Professor of International Politics and Policy at UCL. 4:16, Tim Humphrey has the headlines.